Welcome back, everyone. This is Chris again with Virtual Firearms Association, and today what I have in store, I am going to be discussing what is considered a safe direction for you to actually handle your firearm. I went over in the previous week just as far as how to hold a gun and how to handle a gun, but you also need to know what is considered a safe direction as far as keeping a gun away from being able to have the ability to even harm anybody else. So when it comes to you reloading the weapon, when it comes to ejecting the magazine, and just doing some of the things like that, what is an area that's considered just a safe area or safe workplace for you to actually operate your firearm? You always want to make sure that that barrel or that end of that firearm is never going to be pointing at anybody else at any time, including yourself, more importantly. Especially just when it comes to you holstering your weapon, pulling it in and out, in and out, in and out. You want to make sure that you are not actually lasering or actually blading yourself just when it comes to your firearm. And importantly, especially when you're at the range, you want to make sure that that gun or the end of that barrel is not pointing at anybody else. I got a clip that I want y'all to basically take a look at. It's actually going to show it's an unfortunate situation in which it was a kid's birthday, and just the unsafe handling of that firearm, and that firearm was actually pointed in an unsafe direction, and a series of unfortunate events actually took place. But enough about that. Go ahead, tune in and go ahead and play that clip for you, just to express just the importance of just where it is of you keeping that gun always in a safe direction as possible, if it is possible. Let's get it started. Almost forgot something. If you're ever at the range and you are firing your weapon going pew 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 down range, and the brass is flying all over the place, and if one of those pieces of brass or shells actually go down your shirt, ground your weapon. Take your weapon, place it down on the counter before you do any kind of manipulation as far as getting that brass out of your shirt, out of your collar, or whatever the situation. Yeah, it's going to be hot. Yeah, it's going to burn your skin. And yeah, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. But at the same exact end, you don't want to sit up there and mess with that brass while you have that gun in your hand. Keep that in mind. Place the gun down. Make sure that gun is safe, away from other people. And then go ahead and get that brass out of your collar. Just a side note. Keep that in mind.
Possible thing could possibly happened. All of our thoughts, prayers, and are with the family.
A teenager is shot and killed in front of his whole family while celebrating the July 4th holiday at a gun range in Sarasota, Florida. 14-year-old Stephen Brumby was rushed to the hospital where he died. His brother witnessed the whole thing.
My dad was firing a .22, just a little semi-automatic pistol, and what happened was the previous shot, the ejected casing, which is super hot, bounced off the wall and ricocheted down my dad's shirt. And because it was super hot, the knee-jerk reaction was to try to brush it off of him, and he pulled the gun hand up and tried to brush it off him, and the gun went off into the ceiling and ricocheted into my little brother Stephen.
At this time, no charges are pending. Police are calling it accidental.
Before any handling of the weapon, you want to make sure your gun is clear and safe. I've already did the honors to make sure the gun is clear and safe. So you want to visually and manually inspect the firearm to make sure that weapon is clear and as safe as possible just when it comes to you operating it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and let the slide go forward, and I'm going to lay the gun down on the table just like that. So the question is what is considered a safe direction? What is considered a good area for you to actually work in? So when it comes to you operating a firearm, of course, you don't want to be doing this behind somebody's back. If you're doing any kind of reload, if you're doing any kind of function check or anything like that, you just definitely don't want to be behind anybody, because this barrel, what you see right here, that's where that bullet is going to go. Sounds pretty obvious, sounds pretty clear, and it sounds like, yeah, it's obvious, but at the same exact time, wherever this end of the gun is actually pointed at is actually going to be where the bullet is actually going to go. Keep that in mind. And yes, I know it sounds crazy or sounds redundant, But at the same exact time, remember that it'll help keep you safe and keep others safe as well. So if you want to talk about a safe direction, like for example, if you got to reload and you're actually in your space, you want to actually bring that gun close up in your area, close up in your workspace, right up there close to your body. And you always want to keep your eyes focused downrange and that gun up here close to you. Of course, scan the areas, make sure that there's nobody else that's close to you or around you. Anytime you're doing any kind of weapon manipulation, reloading drills or anything like that. Okay, let that slide go forward. If it comes to you holstering that gun, make sure that you are not using this left hand, because I'm right hand dominant. Make sure you are not using this left hand, crossing over, as you can see here, to actually open up your holster and end up putting your gun into the holster, because you will actually be blading your hand when it comes to you holstering your weapon. You want to make sure you get into the habit of you just actually grabbing your gun. After you're done shooting that last shot, after you finish scanning the room and making sure that it's clear and safe, make sure that you put that weapon just in and try to do it without your hand actually being in the way. You don't want to blade yourself at any particular time. Some of the holsters that's out there, they're real tricky, and that can also, if you have your finger on the trigger when you're actually holstering the weapon, that could be also a bad series of events that actually take place, in which you'll end up letting one of those rounds actually go into your leg or into your waist side. So make sure, like I said, this end of this barrel is never pointed at anything that you're not willing to shoot or destroy. Keep those in mind. Those are some of the tips and tricks that I have to try to keep you alive, keep you safe as possible. Keep that in mind when it comes to you operating that firearm, and believe me, you'll be as safe as possible. Anytime that you are done with your firearm or you receive that firearm, you make sure that that weapon is clear and safe and you actually know the functions of that weapon before you actually holster it away or actually put it away, depending on if this is your everyday carry or if this is something or a gun that you're actually utilizing for that day, and you want to make sure that you obviously keep it away from kids. These are some of the things that you can actually do to help keep you safe and make sure that this is an enjoyable experience just when it comes to firearms. So just keep that in mind, all right? The basic things that you just need to remember in order to just get started when you aren't that familiar just when it comes to firearms. So the goal is safety, be as safe as possible. Firearms are fun. It's fun going to the range shooting with your friends. It's a stress reliever. It's gaming, hunting, all kinds of different things that you can do just when it comes to a firearm. But the most important thing is that you are safe as possible. Always keep that firearm in a safe direction away from anybody else. Because this right here, you're not given too many second chances just when it comes to any kind of mishaps or mistakes if one of these rounds are actually going in a direction towards somebody who is not intended to. So keep that in mind, stay safe. Until next week, we're going to continue this series, just teaching you the basic fundamentals just when it comes to operating a firearm. If not for you, for somebody else. But until then, I'll see you soon. Till next time.